everybody. How are you today? So, I'm sitting down to do a react to Chantal's latest video. Good news, y'all. It's not a mukbang. Yay! It's not a mukbang. I am so sick of the mukbangs. So sick of them. And you guys know I don't really react to her mukbang material. The only time I cover Chantal when she's eating, when she's doing a live, and there's no way to avoid it. So Chantal put out a video called Weigh In and Vlog. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Doctor's visit update. I'm really struggling. She's struggling. Okay. She's struggling. Sure, Chantal, sure, you're struggling. Yeah, you've been spending the last week struggling, doing nothing but fast food funerals. I really see how you're struggling. You're really struggling against it. Ugh. So she gave us some health updates and basically talked a bunch of nonsense, told us a bunch of lies. And that's how I know that she's not serious about her health, because when you're serious about your health and you say have a food addiction and you want to get over it, you are going to start being honest with yourself and honest with other people. Until the honesty comes, the healing can't even begin to start. So, like, she was in the vlog and she was talking about, oh, there's nothing wrong with me and da 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 da. We're going to get into it. But in the vlog mentioned, Chantal claimed that she was 365 pounds. That's right. Our girl is 365 pounds. And do you know what I say to that? Yeah, you are a wreck, ma'am. You are a wreck thinking that you're 365 pounds. You're not 365 pounds. As a matter of fact, before we get into the Twitter peeps, I would like to show everybody something, and I invite everyone to partake and pay attention, because I went hunting. I did before I started this react. I went looking and searching, knowing that there was footage out there of Chantal back in the BB era when she was with BB. BB is her ex that she was with for 5 years. She lived with him, and 2017, 2018 was the very start of her channel. And 2017, 2018, that's when she was doing honest weigh-ins, not taking the scale and messing about with the scale and lying about how much she really weighed. So before we get into the Twitter peeps, I would like to pull up some footage. Yes, we're going to do that. All right. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay. All righty then. And I'm going to leave a link for this person's channel. Okay, so you guys can see. This is some older footage, and it even gives the date. Weigh In and Vlog, May 2017. So that is like, 8 years ago? This was her 8 years ago. Yep, there it is. And you can tell right now that she looks really, really different. Like the shape of her face is different. Her face looks more symmetrical. One side of her face is not more swollen than the other. It's not quite so round. This was when she was 365, 377. There's another weigh-in that she did where she was 377. So she was really, really close to the 400-pound range. And this was 8 years ago. You can compare this picture and this footage to how she looks now and how she moves now, and you can see she's gained a lot more weight. But she was almost at 400 pounds here. So just for comparison, okay, we're going to go back here because I want to show you guys, look. Like there she is with the scale. There's the number, 365.4. And this is courtesy of the channel. Is it BIKIESS? BIKIESS. And this was like 6 years ago. Let's watch part of the footage. Oh, well, she's got that doggone music. This was back in the day when Chantal was still a beginning YouTuber. And in my opinion, her vlogs were a lot more interesting. They were a lot more real. They were a lot more laid back than they are now. Like over the course of time, because of her want for money and wanting her channel to grow, she basically turned herself into a caricature. Everything was just over exaggerated, overblown. But that's the number, 365. And here she is.
Number. And all morning I have been so down on myself. Like, I don't get it. Like, I just don't get it. 4 pounds or like almost 5 pounds or whatever. I was 369 point something.
So almost 370 pounds, 30 pounds away from being 400.
And I'm 365 point something. So like 4 pounds. Let's call it 4 pounds. In 2 weeks. Like,
can I just say something really quick? Something strange about Chantal / Foodie Beauty. I don't know what it is. It might be an emotional thing. It might be a mental thing. It might be a denial thing. I'm not even sure. But Foodie seems to be obsessed with staying in the 300s. If you go back through her vlogs, if you go back through her videos, her weight always stays in the 300s. It's 350, 355, 340, 320, 375, but it never goes above 399. She will never say, I'm 400 pounds. I'm 450 pounds. I'm 500 pounds. I have a working theory. I really do. After watching part of this vlog, I think maybe up here she's in denial that since her BB days that she's put on weight. Like she is stuck in her mind that she's in the 300s. Like maybe in her mind she equates anything over 300 as being obese, and she's going to deny to herself that she is obese. So she keeps lying to the audience and saying, I'm 355, I'm 365. Well, here's some proof, Chantal. This was you back in 2017. This was many years ago. And you don't have on a hijab. Yes, you're using some skin filters. That's apparent. You got the skin smoothing filter, but there's no hijab to cover up anything. You guys can see her face. It doesn't look so like one side of her face is not more swollen than the other. This was back when she was younger, but she was close to 400 pounds. In my opinion, looking at this old footage, knowing that Chantal was close to 400 pounds and looking at her now, I'm clocking her at 550 plus. I am. For some reason, Chantal gets on YouTube and she denies doing the Feti content when it's obvious she's doing it. And she denies gaining weight when she is gaining weight. I'm not quite sure how someone who does the Feti content isn't coming forward and saying that they weigh a certain amount, because if she said that she was bigger, the Fetis would go absolutely wild. Maybe it's a personal thing with her. Maybe it's a self-denial thing. I'm not sure.
I want to cry like really bad right now because it should be more than that. Like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I really, really was trying. I mean, I've been counting calories. I haven't been eating more than 1,500 in a day. My fitness pal, for my weight and everything, said I could eat up to 1,900 and lose 2 pounds a week or what.
Are you counting in liquid calories? Those count too. Are you drinking a lot of soda? Liquid calories count, Chantal. If you're drinking soda, that's liquid calories and that counts.
Whatever. but I guess not. Now I notice my feet are swollen, so I wonder if I retain water, wonder if I'm eating too much sodium. I haven't eaten any really processed food. Maybe I'm eating too much pasta. I don't know. I don't know what to do. And I don't want people to be like, "Oh, do this, do that, do this, do that." Because
Okay, we're not going to go through this entire thing. I want to get on to her vlog. But again, just for comparison, like she doesn't get out of her car. Like, oh, you know what? She does get out of the car. She's walking. But just another picture is Chantal at 365, 377. There she is. You just look at her face. You know, when you lose or gain weight, it shows up in the face really rapidly. You can tell if somebody's losing weight or gaining weight because it'll show up here. So this was her at 365, 377. And also, there's another part here I would like to check out. Now, y'all look at this. This is our girl. She's going to a park and she's going to walk all by herself. She had a lot more mobility then and a lot less problem with her breathing.
it is 150th, guys. Actually gonna go up this hill for a nice walk. I'm gonna go pee behind the tree because I really have to pee like bad. I'll be back. Canadian and American nations whose common memories of old unhappy far off things and battles long ago not only contribute.
Why does she sound out of breath? Girl, you said you just had to go pee and now you're acting like you ran a marathon. What happened there? Wait a minute. Where's she at? Come here, Chantal. Where'd you go?
Someday. What's up, guys?
Take a look at this, Chantal. Have you forgotten about this footage that you did? This was you, not quite as big as you are now. You were a lot healthier, at least healthy enough to be independent, and you weren't afraid to be seen in public. You were going to parks. You can take walks by yourself. You didn't need anybody. You had your independence, and you decided to give up your independence for your food issue. You gave your independence and your mobility away to your food issue. You sacrificed your independence and your mobility for that. And you've got idiots like Anime Sucks in your ear convincing you that it's going to be some sort of a dream life. It won't. It absolutely won't. But this is you. Look. Do you remember her? You remember this Chantal? This Chantal that was still around before Foodie Beauty took over? And you got obsessed with the money and the views and the attention. This is you before all the nonsense.
So, there's a lot of bugs. I'm sitting atop of this memorial hill, and the sun is shining on me. It just feels so good.
Yeah, what happened to this, Chantal? You enjoyed going out. You were okay with being seen in public. You were enjoying the sunshine. Where did she go? Why did you let her disappear? What happened? I have questions. I've got lots of questions. The bigger you get, Chantal, the more unhealthier you get, the more you become a shut-in, the more you shut yourself away. Let me ask you something. Was it worth it? Was giving up all the little things worth it for just a bunch of paychecks and catering to a bunch of freaks that want you to destroy your health for their entertainment? Was it worth it? You don't have to answer me. You don't have to answer to me. I'm just asking you to ask that of yourself. Was it worth it? Is it worth it? That's for you to decide. But I just want you to take a glimpse back through time about who you once were, able to go out, go to a park, sit in the sun, enjoy the warmth and the sunlight. This was you. This was the you that you gave up.
Feels so good to be near water. Feels so good to be out and about. I went for a pee up top here in the memorial. I don't know if anyone saw my arse, but
I hope you didn't pee on the memorial. That would just be so wrong.
Maybe the people down below the hill saw it. I didn't know they were there. But I had to go so bad. Like, no disrespect to Canada, but I had to fucking piss. Ew.
Well, we'll have that. Okay, so now that you've seen that, and once again, you know what? Let me go back. Just so we're clear, get a good look at this. Where is it? 365.4. This is the weight that Chantal is claiming she's at right now. Almost on the money, 365. That's what she's saying. That she is at this weight. And y'all just saw what she looks like. And you could take a look at how she looks now. Ain't no way. No. She's put on at least 150 to 200 pounds since being in Kuwait. As a matter of fact, one of the mukbangs she just did, y'all ready? This is one meal. The Valentine's Day meal, 8,000 calories. 8,000. That's insane. For comparison, someone like myself, I'm 5'4", I'm about 130 something pounds, and I'm a little bit more active than Foodie. My daily intake should be 1,600 to 1,800. If I were more active, it would be like close to 2,000. She's eating about 4 days worth of calories for me. 4 days, all at once. And it takes, I think, 3,500 calories to make 1 pound of fat. And she ate 7,000 to 9,000 calories. So she might have put on a couple of pounds that night. But there you go. There it is. Just so we're clear. And I will leave a link for the original video down below in the description. Before we get into her weigh-in blog, how about we go on over to Twitter and cover all the Twitter peeps, because a lot of people on Twitter got things to say. So let's get on to the Twitter peeps. Okay, it's time for the Twitter peeps. Let me just go ahead and bring it on up. First, let me just see. Let me see what's going on here. One moment, please. I'm just seeing other stuff on here too. I found something else I can add. Sorry. It's like another Twitter peep I have to add. Oh my. Come on. There. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Got it. All right. So for those of you on the Bird app and you'd like to follow me on the Bird app, there's my handle, Well Girl Sarah. And for those of you not on the burb, it's a burb, not a bird, a burb. Burb is the word. Burb. It's a burb. My tongue and my lips don't want to work today. What is the matter with me? Sorry. Okay, on the Burb app, Burb. That's a new word, Burb. Let's move on. Let's move on now from Burb. Okay, this first tweet is from Raised Dactylion Trauma Potato. Raised Dactylion says, no one is responsible for you but you, cutie. You're 41 years old. Kristen says, this is going to be great. Now, something interesting about Foodie's video, she put the subscribe button over this portion of the video. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you covering up? Where are you? Why was she covering that up? For all we knew, she could have been in the parking lot of her apartment building, acting like she was at the doctor's office. But she's covering up something with this subscribe button. Let's watch, though.
Salah's gonna help me as best as he can. He's like, I'm not having any snacks in the house. Don't even think about it. Like, he's gonna review all grocery orders.
You know what? Nope. None of this makes sense to me. None of it. The math ain't mathin'. Salah brings her food. He has brought her fast food. He's brought her the fast food home. If he's got a room in the apartment, which he does, he knows when she's eating her mukbangs. There's no way that he doesn't know. I mean, if somebody brings food home or they're making food, you can smell that in your room, even with the door closed. How could he not know? Even if he can't smell the food, you're going to find the person's leftover trash in the trash can or around the house. How can he not know that she's eating the fast food? He's been bringing her food for months and months. Like he's an enabler. Do I think he's a Feti? No. I don't think he's on board with the Feti fetish. I really don't. He's not into it. It doesn't excite him. It doesn't arouse him. But he is an enabler. Even a silent enabler is still an enabler. He is enabling this behavior. He's playing along. He's getting paid to do so. As long as he gets some kind of paycheck or compensation, his attitude is whatever. Whatever. He's getting his cut. Whatever. So he has been aiding and abetting this behavior. And all of a sudden now he cares? Even if he did, y'all, let's be real. Even if he did care, this situation with her and the food, it's over his head. It's even over her head. For Chantal to even have a shot at getting over this thing, I've said it before, I will say it again, and I'm saying with my whole chest, and I'm standing on business. The only way she's going to be able to get on top of this thing is if she checks herself into an inpatient facility and she stays there for at least 3 years. Now, I know what you're saying right now. Rose, that's a long time. You're right. It is a long time. But I think it would take a very long time for her to get into a routine where she understands she can't get her way and she can't cry her way through things and she can't beg her way through things and temper tantrums are not going to do it. To fix her bad habits, she needs a long time somewhere where she's made to listen, where she's going to be told the word no and she has no control. Because if you give someone like Chantal control, they go out of control. She's not an outpatient kind of person. If you send her home and she's got her phone, you know what's going to happen. You know. She's going to grab that phone. She's going to get on an app and she's going to order food, or she's going to get in the Temu mobile and go get food. I've seen comments from people saying, well, he can just lock up the fridge and the pantry and be done with it. Listen, you don't understand how powerful addiction can be. You will go to extreme measures to satisfy your addiction if it is strong enough. And believe me, her addiction for food is just that strong. If Salah locked up the fridge, if he locked up the pantry, even if he disappeared so she couldn't throw a temper tantrum to him, trust me, she would go downstairs and she would walk her little self around to the coffee shop and buy all the pastries. She'll find a way to get what she wants. That food addiction will drive her to extreme measures to make sure it is satisfied. That's why she needs to be in a place where she can't do that.
you know, there's not going to be any snacks in that. So, yep.
You know what, Chantal? You are so predictable. You really, really are. Let me take a guess of what's going to happen next. There's door number one, where you're going to pretend to get healthy because you can't heal in the same environment that you hurt in. And the environment that you're hurting in that is aiding in your food addiction is being alone in Kuwait, in the apartment, miserable and angry at Salah. There's no positive reinforcement. There's no change in behavior. There's no change in people that you're around and activity. To break free of the toxic cycle, you got to break free of the stagnant routine that you put yourself in, where food is your everything. And as long as you stay in that little bubble, it's just going to be bad for you. You're not breaking free. Not at all. Nope. But question, are you really down on money? And maybe this whole I'm going to stop fast food thing, is that a manipulative ploy to get the Feti people to panic and send you money? You know, they're going to go into a panic because they like to come to YouTube and see you do the fetish stuff for free. You're going to put the thought in their head, oh my God, Chantal, don't stop doing the fetish stuff. We enjoy you doing the food content. Please don't cut us off. And they start sending you more super chats or sending you stuff through PayPal. Is that what this is about? Like you've already ripped off your beezers with the whole cat food scam. So you can't pull that again. Can't do that. Like you've done the most on your beezers. So now you're basically shaking the little money bag at the feedies and saying, fill it up for me. Is that what you're doing? Or maybe, theory, are you setting up like a I need to go home for my health arc? Because you're a narcissist. And in every story, the narcissist is either the hero or the victim, or the both simultaneously. You're the hero, victim, victim, hero. You're trying to find a way to end this Kuwait arc, but do it in a way to where you don't look bad and maybe you get some sympathy. Because you're not going to come forward and say, Salah and I are done and I got to go home. You don't want egg on your face. So you're setting it up to where you can go home. Hey, whatever it takes, do it. If that's the case, do it. Or is it going to go this way? You're going to pretend to get healthy for a few days, and then you're going to be raging and say, I can't do this. And then back to the mukbangs. It's one of those three doors. It has to be. Because this has been the cycle for the past 8 years. There's been nothing different. And can you please stop with the I'm struggling crap? If you're getting on camera and if you're monetizing your addiction and you're glorifying it and you're literally getting high using food and you're doing it in full view of the public and you're not fighting against it at all, you're not struggling. The only thing you're struggling to do is figure out a way to do more mukbangs so you can do more Feti requests to get more money. I think that's the only thing you struggle with. And by the way, I'm clocking you right now. I think the reason why you eat every 2 hours is not just because of your food addiction. Because you do the private requests, and in order to keep your stomach stretched all the way out to max, to do those requests, to satisfy those people, you have to eat every 2 hours. Because if you ate smaller meals, your stomach would shrink. You're kind of doing the competitive eating technique without actually being a competitive eater. You're stretching out your stomach to max volume so that if you get 3 or 4 requests in a day, you can satisfy them all. If somebody says eat a tremendous amount of food, you can make them happy. And they will come back around and do another request. Yeah, I see you, girl. I see what's up. I sure do. Yes, ma'am. But go on ahead. What else you got to say? Okay, that was it for that. Tweety says nothing is wrong with her uneven face eye, apparently. And weirdly enough, her face doesn't look that uneven here in daylight. It has to be the placement of the hijab and filters and artificial light. Or maybe she found a filter that balanced everything out. I don't know. Like, I actually looked around, y'all, to see if there was a funky face filter that could make one side of the face swollen and the other side not swollen. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't find anything. I thought maybe she was messing around with us. She found some funky face filter that was making her face look like that, but I honestly didn't find anything like a beauty filter. Hello YouTube says, this is my last post, and then I need to work on some gym clothing for this week. I don't believe for a second her A1C was only 10 after all the crap we saw her eat. It is obvious she has been crying. I bet the doctors scared her poopless. Maybe, but then again, she's been to the doctor before and he just gave her some basic advice and she didn't listen to a single bit of it. He told her that her carbs should fill up the palm of her hand. And she eats far more than that. So she's not ready to listen. She's not ready to change. She's not fighting against something. She is leaning into it. Absolutely leaning into it. Now, y'all look at this. Why should have an animal? Look at her posture, though. How do you even do that as a bird? A burb. With a burb, feels very comfortable on the broccoli. Pretty burb. How adorable. A burb on a piece of broccoli. That's the only acceptable thing for broccoli. Yes, I don't like broccoli, but the burb likes broccoli and it looks cute on broccoli, so I'm cool with that. Ash Renee says Foodie Beauty AC1 is 10 and weight is 166 kg. She is starting a, quote, new thing that she won't tell us until a week from now. The CPAP is, quote, making noises and she doesn't want to pay for a new one. She is no longer doing mukbangs and she's going through fast food withdrawals. No, she ain't. No, she is not. She's not going through fast food withdrawals. Let me tell y'all something. Hello. I've had the food addiction. Not as bad as Foodie, but it was still bad. If she were going through fast food withdrawals, she'd be freaking out. As addicted to carbs and sugar and junk as she is, if she were really going through with a withdrawal, she'd be flipping her lid. We're talking crying. We're talking raging. We're talking frantic and anxious. Like, what am I going to do? Like, it'd be like that. But she's calm right now. Why is she calm? Maybe because she had her fix before the video started. Maybe she did. Regarding the CPAP making noises, if that is the same CPAP from years before, the CPAP is a little bit on the older side. Maybe the CPAP is making noises because it's worn out or it's not clean. She doesn't clean her CPAP and she doesn't want to pay for a new one. So she'll spend hundreds of dollars on fast food, but nothing on a medical device. That's stupid. That's something that helps you breathe, Foodie. You don't want to spend money on a medical device. You're going to sleep without it. You're dumb. You can stop breathing in your sleep. That's what sleep apnea is. You stop breathing in your sleep. And you don't want to get a new CPAP? Hey, play with your life like that. Play with your life like that. Roll the dice. See what happens. Hectic Llama says, he's so worried about me. He's fed up of her crap and ready to kick her to the curb if she doesn't get him to Canada soon. Well, she can't anyway. I mean, he should have figured that out by now, honestly. It's been what, almost 3 years, and it hasn't happened. It ain't gonna happen. It's just not. Like, I have heard that Foodie might have paid off her bankruptcy. I don't know if that's the case, but even if she did pay off the bankruptcy, in order to be his sponsor, she's going to have to show solid income that she can support herself and Salah. I don't know if she can do that. They're going to look at her history of her money and the bad credit and the bankruptcies, and it's not going to make them feel a certain kind of way. They're going to feel bad. They're going to be like, like if you become a sponsor to somebody, you are the guarantor that if that person is allowed into the country, you are putting your name on the dotted line saying you will cover all of their expenses in the event that they are not working, they don't have a job, and they don't have money. You're saying, I will cover it all. That way they will not be a burden to whatever country you might live in. And I know this because I had an ex-husband from Mexico City. We got married, and that was one of the possible requirements. Like, if he couldn't get his green card, that there might have been somebody that had to sign on as a guarantor. And there was a whole process you got to go through, medical exam, like at proving the marriage is real. If you're married to somebody from the States, I don't know how it is in Canada. I don't know how Canada does their thing, but I know finances are a concern, and hers have been all over the place and spotty. So I don't know how they look at that. Perfectly Imperfect says, and that's a 10 on insulin and metformin. So her A1C is still a 10 after taking insulin and metformin. Can you imagine what it looks like without it? Let's look at the pictures. A level 10 means your diabetes has shot up to alarming levels. So here's a chart, y'all. Okay, so she says it's a 10. You got normal levels, elevated and poorly controlled levels. She's at a 10. Severely elevated levels, risks of serious complications such as heart attack, stroke, blindness, kidney failure, amputations, etc. And this is while she's taking metformin and insulin. And here's something for you, Chantal, just something to think about, okay? Listen, I don't know what's going on with you internally. That's for you to know. I mean, not to know. It's your health, your body. But if you have to go on dialysis, given how big you are, where most people are on dialysis for 6 to 8 hours to clean their blood, at your size, you're going to have to be on dialysis for 10 to 12 hours a day, maybe more, depending on what your weight is. And you're going to have to do this every few days if your kidneys fail. So just think about that the next time you do a mukbang. Every few days, having to spend an entire day doing dialysis because your kidneys are kaput. I don't know what your kidneys are looking like. Different people on Twitter have said it looks like you're at stage 3 kidney failure. I don't know that to be true. Only a doctor would know, but you might be moving into stage 4. And stage 5, they're completely gone. So you're getting your kidneys are not working so good. Maybe that's why you're so swollen. But on top of the kidneys, dangerous blood glucose levels, ma'am. And that's with your medications. Kelly says, so Foodie tried to rewrite history by saying her and Salah were splitting up because they didn't know how long she'd be gone. Well, here's proof she's lying because her husband knew when she was coming back. Rule number 1 never fails us. So she will come back because the bypass after 1 year and a half. So he anticipated her coming back, but he did not anticipate her coming back before that. He was looking forward to his little foodie vacation, and she screwed it up by coming back. But then again, let's be fair. He screwed it up by talking to Kybella. And then everything blew open. And then she freaked out and ran back there. She could have just stayed in Canada. Could have been a whole new arc for us, but that didn't work. Nana's Spiked Tea says, what if this whole I'm not eating on camera anymore is because of that anime guy? Say he told her he paid good money if she eats for him privately. Or did Salah get butt chapped and put an end to her eating for his enjoyment? I think that she's talking to Anime Sucks in private. Maybe he is just paying for content for him. Maybe he's at the point now with his obsessiveness over Chantal that he's like, I just want you doing stuff for me. And considering the tarot readings that I have done, Melissa Gold Tarot has done, Sunburst Tarot, I think Anime Sucks may be her private hookup, her private pimp, that he's pimping her out, maybe having her make content for him and selling it to other people. He certainly wants Chantal to be in his company and putting the pressure on for her to leave Salah and go be with him, although that would be disastrous. But I can't say for sure. I can't. Or it could be a ploy of pulling back the mukbangs for a while to freak out the other feedies. And by doing that, maybe trying to, pressure more money out of them. Del Pondu says this textbook committee says the thing is she didn't go in for a physical. It was a blood sugar check to get more medication. That doctor had no time to address what's likely a serious systematic issue. She needs a full workup to assess her heart, vascular system, lungs, liver, kidneys, and eyes. Yeah, and as I understand it, over in Kuwait, if you're a tourist, they're not going to give you like serious tests and medical care. They'll just give you the bare basic minimum and send you on your way. Like the feeling is if you are a tourist, if you want something more intense, you got to go back home. We're going to give you like some basic stuff, but we're not going to give you serious medical care. So maybe that's why. Like the doctor only did so much because he can only do so much. And you're right. Foodie needs to have everything under the hood checked. Her heart, her lungs, her kidneys, her blood sugar, nerve damage. Like the doctor probably just gave her some medication and sent her on her way because that's all he could do. Wonder Mom says Chantal is clearly abusing the insulin and using it to inject the blood sugar down. Yes to that. And I've been saying that. She's not using her diabetic medication to manage her diabetes. She's using it to manage her B moments. I've been saying that. I'm not yelling at you, Wonder Mom. I'm just passionate. But she is abusing her medications to keep on with the B moments, to keep doing the feedy content off and off YouTube. It's about managing the addiction, not the diabetes. Yes to that. All day long. Yes. This will help in the short run, but her already struggling organs, Foodie Beauty's heart can explode, and she can have brain damage from doing this. I don't think she cares. I really don't think so. One crazy Italian mama says, thank you for calling it out. That's exactly what it is. A sex act over the internet. And this was pre-taped, so she knew what she was going to put out and when. Don't tell me this wasn't a request. Yep. Straight up feedy content. I already showed it to you. The closing of the eyes, the prawn actress faces. Yeah. Okay. We see you. This was a request. Someone wanted you to make love to a pizza. Ugh. Ghost Crab says, how can you have an A1C of 10 while taking insulin? Well, her blood sugar is just that high. She did say recently that if she did not take her insulin or her medications, her blood sugar will be up in the 400s. And I believe her. I absolutely believe her. Her medications that she does, I think they are there. She misuses them and abuses them to keep her from going into a diabetic coma. But again, it's not about dealing with the diabetes. It's about managing the B moments and using them as a way to continue the B moments, but never stop. Duchess of Langley says, I don't know how it works elsewhere, but in the UK, the NHS makes you have a diabetic eye screening and a foot examination to test for neuropathy. The fact she isn't getting these once a year is not good. No, it's not good. When Chantal was at the Canadian Villa, we saw the dark patches on her legs, which can point to diabetic neuropathy. Recently, we saw the dark patches on her feet. Her feet look purple. That is not normal. It wasn't like she was walking around all day and her feet just got red and swelled up. If you've got nerve damage in your feet, if you get a cut or a scratch, you don't know what's there. It can get infected and then it can get really, really bad. She doesn't even look at her feet. She doesn't pay attention to her feet. Raksha Kaur says, if she really saw a doctor, Salah be the disgusting, hateful freeloader POS he is, probably discredited Chantal in front of the doctor. Thus, he dismissed what we consider important health issues as crazy ideas from a stupid woman. You know, the problem with Chantal is you can't really believe what she says. I mean, Chantal lies. Rule number one, Chantal lies. Some things could be true. Other things could be untrue. Like, we weren't in the room to know exactly what happened, if he actually said that, if he actually did that. He wasn't sitting next to her, that if she told a lie, he could say, that's a lie. I never said that. You know, you leave her alone in a car or a room, she can make up any lies she wants. So I don't know if that actually happened. Florida Salt and Sass says 7,000 calories. 7,000 for a diabetic that has insulin resistance due to obesity. Yeah, 7,000 calories, y'all, that meal on V-Day. 7,000! It's entirely too much. It's like 3 or 4 days worth of calories for me. Ugh. Yup says, Foodie Beauty got very basic info at her doctor's appointment. She needs major follow-up work such as kidney and heart function tests, liver enzyme tests, thyroid, and scans in order to get a full picture of her health, not just a snapshot. She'll only be able to get those in Canada. Well, you know what the most important thing is? Yup, she's got to care. She's got to give a crap. She's got to take control of this thing. Like, she knows what she needs to do. She knows what she should be doing. She's not doing it because she doesn't care enough about it. So what can any of us do? What can her Beezers make her do? What can Girl World make her do? Nothing. We're just watching the videos. We're just watching the lives and reacting to them. But we can't force her to change or be better. Like, she has devoted her life to satisfying all of her addictions. She's leading a very hedonistic lifestyle. Like, just running after her cravings, running after her urges with no structure, no balance, no discipline. This is what she's devoted herself to. MJK23 says, without mukbangs on her channel, she literally has no content. How many days until she's eating on camera again? I say 3 max. I would agree with that. I would. That she's going to go back to the mukbangs. Mo Translate says, Chantal says her weight is 166 kg, 365, and her A1C is 10. She's going to start a new health journey, no snacks, and Salah will check the groceries. In my opinion, Chantal and ALR will never change unless they do inpatient. Otherwise, they're just playing dangerous games with their health. Listen, can we be real for a second? How can Salah tell her no to anything she wants if she's the one making the money? He can complain and scream and whine and woof woof all he wants. But the moment she brings up, I'm the one that makes the money, I'm the one that pays the bills. I'm the one that pays for the groceries. I'm the one paying the rent. I'm the one giving you a paycheck. Argument over. If she's the breadwinner, if she's the one wearing the pants in the family, how can he complain? Well, argument over. The person making the money is the one who gets to say how the money is spent. He can't argue. And that is why Chantal has always maintained, even though she's an out of control person, she's always made sure that she's the one with the money, that she makes the money, so nobody could ever tell her no to anything she wants. Like, she's got that power. I make the money. I make all the money. You receive the money. Sit down and shut up. Argument over. He can't tell her no. He just can't. Let's watch the clips though.
I got weighed. I had my A1C checked, and it's 10.
Dangerous level.
It's back at 10. I think it was 10, I think last year, maybe a year and a half ago, and then it went back down to 9. Now it's back at 10.
I have a question. Like, all you guys know that I'm studying to be a CNA. I'm just a baby in that regard. I'm just getting started with that. I have people in my audience, those of you that are medical professionals, those of you that are nurses, RNs, CNAs, that you might know the answer to this question. Here's my question. Here's something that I'm wondering. Is it possible that if you're someone that you've been abusing your body for years with the food, and you constantly have high blood sugar, is it possible that becomes your normal, like your body just gets adjusted to it? And I know it's not good for you, whether you get adjusted to it or not. What I'm asking is, like, anybody in Chantal's position, if they had a blood sugar of, say, like a 400s, they'd be in the hospital. So has her body adjusted to really high blood sugar? I'm not saying it doesn't remove the harmful effects of that, but is it possible to be a diabetic that if you've maintained high blood sugar for a long enough period of time, your body just like creates like a baseline of it? I'm really curious about that. Is that why she's not in the hospital yet in a diabetic coma? Because the fact that she's not gone to a hospital for an extended period of time is crazy to me. How is it possible that she's still up and walking? Has her body just simply adjusted to this unhealthy baseline that's going on? And I would love to hear y'all's thoughts. I would love to learn more about this.
I did ask him about my face because a lot of people were commenting, like, ask him about your face, like your eyes. I don't know. People say my eyes are bulging out of my head.
You know what, Chantal? I will confess to you, when people started pointing out the bulging eye thing, I had trouble seeing it. But in some of your lives, I do see it, that one eye is bigger than the other. And I've also noticed, like everybody else, that your eyes just keep leaking. Like there's some kind of fluid, which could be because of high blood sugar and diabetes. And this was not something that was present before with you. This is something that happened in Kuwait within the last year or so. It started with one eye and now it's both. And it's not allergies, because if you had an allergy to something in the air, your eyes would be red and tearing from the allergy. You don't go out a lot, so I don't see how it would be an allergy per se. But like your eyes are always leaking fluid no matter what's going on. I do notice that one side of your mouth seems to droop more than the other. Some people have said it might be due to like a mini stroke. Like there's all kinds of warning signs there. Things that are going on with you that have never happened with you, that never used to be. As a matter of fact, since we're here, Okay, Miss 365. Okay, you guys get a clear picture in your head. What's going on with her right now? Right? Right. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can go back. See if I can get a good picture of her face first. Like I just want a comparison. I'm just being fair here. Let's be fair. All right. So there is the Chantal, 2017. This is how she looked. Yes, she was a bit younger, but look at the shape of her face. This was back when she was close to 400 pounds. Y'all can see the face now. You can see her cheeks were a lot flatter. They weren't quite as full. And this was when she was close to the 400s. Okay, now that you saw that, keep that picture in your mind. Please allow me to show you something else. Keep that picture in your head you just saw. And that's with filters. She's got all kinds of filters working. Look at the shape of her face. And by the way, that there's a contour filter that it works on the lower half of your face. It does like a triangle type of thing. So she's got that working. There's no way in heavens that think about it from an artist's perspective. There's no way that you can have a round face from here, here, and here, and then all of a sudden it tapers down this way. Your body is going to distribute the weight evenly. She doesn't have a pointy chin. It ain't possible. But just look from this to this. Very full cheeks, very, very full. And she's supposed to be the same weight that she was back in 2017, 2018. I don't think so. I really don't think so. Hogwash. Shenanigans. I'm calling shenanigans. I'm part Irish. I can call shenanigans if I want to. All right, let's go back. See what she has to say.
My face is droopy. My face is puffy.
And it is puffy. It is puffy, Chantal.
And the doctor literally just looked at me like I was mental and just completely dismissed.
I seriously doubt she went to the doctor and said, hey, I've got leaky eyes. Hey, my face is droopy on one side and I'm swollen. I seriously doubt she went to the doctor. If she went at all and said these things, she's making this up.
What I said, like he didn't even really like acknowledge it. And Salah kind of gave me a dirty look, like, why are you even asking these stupid things?
If he were a real husband, a real one, not someone living off your dime, not some paid for pimp. If you were a real husband, if a person has a wife, a girlfriend, a significant other, and they have concerns about their health, if you were a husband or a boyfriend or a spouse, would you give your significant other a dirty look for being concerned about their health? Would you give them the stink eye if they said, hey, I'm concerned? My eyes are leaking. One corner of my mouth is drooping. One side of my face is swelling. This might be heart problems. It could be some other problem. Would you give them a dirty look? Or would you say, I don't know what's going on with you, honey. I'm not a doctor, but let's take you to a doctor and find out what's going on. I think it would be the latter. Because if you are someone and you love somebody else, you would say, let's go to a doctor and find out. You might be onto something. There might be something here. That's what a loving, caring spouse would do. They would say, let's go. And if it's nothing, it's nothing. But if it's something, we need to know what it is. He's not even in the car. How do we know he said this for real? You could be making this up. You could just be angry at Salah still for not spending time with you on Valentine's Day.
So yeah, so y'all can stop about the I'm having a stroke, whatever you think, you know.
No, we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. As long as you keep getting on YouTube and doing food addiction content in front of everybody, you're monetizing it, you're glorifying it, you're making money off of it, you're literally getting high in front of people, you're putting fetish content in a place where it does not belong, and also bringing adult fetishes to YouTube where they also don't belong, I ain't going to shut up. You're doing things in the improper place. You want to go on Patreon, you want to go on OnlyHands to do your thing, hey, knock yourself out. Tell your Feti guys to meet you there. If you're going to do it, it's not good for you. But if you're going to do it, that's where it needs to be, away from YouTube. YouTube is an all ages platform. You don't age restrict your content. You don't add a disclaimer or a warning about what people are looking at, because you know if you age restrict the content, you're not going to make money on it. There won't be any ads. So you try to be sneaky and snaky and sneak in that fetish content without telling people it's fetish content so you can make money with it. Take it off of YouTube. Take it off.
That I'm dying. I mean, you know, like I'm not healthy, but you know, I think people are just really dramatic. You know, really dramatic, like over.
No, not dramatic. Chantal, you've given yourself over to your addictions. You've given up. You don't care about life anymore. You're not interested to see what's next after the addictions. And can I tell you, ma'am, as someone that I'll always be a food addict, even though I am not going wild with the food, once an addict, always an addict, but you're either on the recovery side of the fence or you're not. So therefore, I am still an addict. But I can express to you how beautiful it is to be in control of the addiction. And the addiction is not in control of me. It gives you so much freedom. I can't even express to you how beautiful and freeing that freedom is. When you're not chained down by the addiction, controlled by the addiction, and your every thought isn't about food. Like, it opens up so many doors in front of you. I'm sure it's a feeling you've never known, or you haven't known it in years. But you're not fighting against it. You're not trying. I've been watching you for years, Chantal. I have yet to see you really struggle. I have yet to see videos where you get angry at the food, or you get angry at yourself after having a B moment and saying to yourself, why did I do this? You know, I can't believe I did this. I'm so disgusted. Because if you have B moments, if you have them, like if you're really struggling against it, you're going to have that anger moment of like, what did I just do? Doggone it. Man, I haven't seen that from you. I don't see the struggle. I don't see the anger. I don't see the sadness. I don't see that tug of war fight.
For the top.
Oh, what happened? Oh, next clip.
I think of my husband. He's so young and he's a lot healthier than me. He should have a healthy wife.
Yeah, he should. Actually, you know what? I think Salah needs to get himself together. Stop being such a play around, if you get my drift. Stop running around to the red rooms and looking for a woman to pay his way. He's acting like the world owes him something and he's entitled. Get off his butt and start making his own money and stop looking for a woman to pay his way. Start doing for himself. And then when he becomes independent and gets himself together, then maybe think about a wife. Because even if he was looking around for another female right now, what has he got to offer her? Nothing.
And he's really, really, really just like at his wit's end. Like, he's just so concerned about my health. Like,
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not concerned about your health, because if he were concerned about your health, he would send your butt home to Canada right now. And if you pitched a fit, if you threw a temper tantrum, if you made threats and made blackmail, which I'm sure you've done, you're holding something over him, Chantal, and he just doesn't want to rock the boat right now. But if he cared about your health, he would say, you really need to go home. I'm afraid of what's going to happen to you if you stay another 2 months. Like, you're just going to gain more weight. You might become bedbound, and then I won't be able to take care of you because I don't know how. And what if something physically happens to you and you have a heart attack or a stroke? Like, you're probably DIE on the way to the hospital. If he really cared about you being alive, he would send you home so you don't end up dead. Because the path they're on right now, let's just say you're living on borrowed time. And that's not me being hateful. It's not me wishing it upon you. Don't you dare step to me and say to me, oh, you're wishing that for me, Rose Thorne. No, ma'am. You're wishing that upon yourself every time your stupid self sits down and does a mukbang, eating 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 calories a day. You're wishing that upon yourself. And the people in your audience that are feedies, that are talking about food with you, discussing food with you openly, knowing how sick you are and how heavy you are, the people paying you for food requests, those are the true haters, Chantal. And they can step to me and argue with me all they want. I'll clock every single one of them, because it is messed up to encourage an addict in their addiction. It is. I don't care how much you like the person. You shouldn't encourage an addict in their addiction and make it worse. Your addiction is your problem, but they are encouraging you, they are enabling you, and they're funding you. So I don't want to hear nothing from those freaking people about I'm a hater or girl world or haters. None of us are encouraging you in your food problem. You understand? The demons that you see may be the angels that you need. The people that you hate the most have the most truth for you. And the ones that are okay with you, patting you on the back, the yes men, they're doing the most harm to you. They're a part of that little bubble you've created. And that bubble needs to be popped.
He can't, like, he's just so worried about me. And I was thinking of all the pros, like I wrote them down, and I'm just going to keep looking at them every single time. Like, I want to get rid of that CPAP. It's starting to make noises. Like, I don't want to fork out like more money.
Not possible. Even if you lost a bunch of weight, Chantal, which would be good for you, you can't get rid of the CPAP because you have sleep apnea. You need the CPAP.
I don't want him to fork out more money on another CPAP. Like,
what? It's your responsibility. You need the medical advice, not him. Don't be cheap. You spend money on takeout, spend money on a new CPAP. You need the CPAP. You don't need the junk food. The medical device is important. The fast food is not.
No, I don't want to be wearing that anymore. I don't want to. I think of my husband.
I don't want to be wearing that anymore. Well, you're going to have to. It is what it is. I've asked somebody, a former roommate who used a CPAP. I was curious. I said, is it possible to go without a CPAP if you have sleep apnea? His answer was no. Because, like, what if you stop using it and then you are, asleep and then you stop breathing? I mean, it's there to make sure that doesn't happen. Better safe than sorry. As a matter of fact, let me go check something out really quick. I'm just curious about something. One moment. Okay, I just wanted to stop for a minute. I wanted to see how much a CPAP machine costs. Now, I realize there are many different parts. You've got the hoses and all that, and that's maybe a separate cost. But I was just wondering why she's like, I don't want to get a CPAP. Like, how cheap is this woman? And believe me, she's cheap. She's real cheap. 1 second. My freaking mouse is acting dumb right now. Okay, come on. There we go. So I want to show you guys something. Hold on. Oh, this mouse is making me mad. All right. All right. CPAP machine. How much are they? Look, I don't know what model of CPAP she has. I have no idea. I just want to get some price comparisons. We got this one for $375. So almost $400. Let's see, got $249. Ooh, this one's $1,000. I don't know if she needs this one. This looks like a newer model. I wonder how much the older models might cost. She probably has an older model. You got one for $1,776. Better start saving, Chantal, for let's see, $500, $375. So like some of them are not so bad. But you know what? It's a good investment. It's a medical device. It makes sense to spend good money on something you absolutely need. Quality. You want something of quality. So is it that you're just being cheap, Chantal, and you don't want to spend the money, or you're so broke you can't buy another one? Which is it? Like you're too broke to buy a CPAP. And don't you have two of them? I thought you had two. I know one was kind of broken because of NADS, and then you had the one that you travel with. So you got two of them. What happened to the other one? Do you still have it? But maybe you need another one. You probably haven't taken your current CPAP to go get recalibrated, because you have to go get your CPAP recalibrated to make sure that it's giving proper pressure when you breathe. Because if you don't have proper pressure, it might lead to being fatigued and all that. So when's the last time you've had it recalibrated? And for the doctor to check how many times during the night you've stopped breathing. Because that's another function of CPAPs, is it monitors to see when you stop breathing. And that's when they do all of the recalibration, is just seeing how things have gone. You got one here for $530. Like, I don't know what CPAP she's got. But is it because you're too cheap, Foodie? Are you too cheap? Are you cheap? Is that what's wrong? You're too cheap and you don't want to pay for one?
Husband, he's so young and he's a lot healthier than me. He should have a healthy wife. And he's really, really, really just like at his wit's end. Like, he's just so concerned about my health. Like, he can't. Like, he's just so worried about me.
He'd send you home if he was.
And I was thinking of all the pros. Like, I wrote them down and I'm just going to keep looking at them every single time. Like, I want to get rid of that CPAP. It's starting to make noises. Like, I don't want to.
Okay, I think we've already watched this. My apologies. Is there another one?
I think of my husband. He's so young.
Okay,
And I think of my husband. He's so young.
Quiet. Shh. Quiet, Chantal. Shh. Shh. I said shh. Quiet, lady. Okay, DX on Twitter, who gives verbal recaps, says no more mukbangs, LMAO. She has hopes to not need her CPAP anymore. Quote, I don't know what I'm going to do about content. We'll figure it out. You should have figured it out years ago. Honestly, you put yourself in the
healthier
corner.
than me. He should have a healthy wife.
Listen,
I think of my husband. He's so young.
Hey.
And he's really, really, I think of my husband. He's
why in the world is
really
she
just
still
like
talking?
at his wit's end.
Quiet. You're rude talking over me. Be quiet. I'm not ready for you. Shh. Don't talk when somebody else is talking, Foodie. It's very rude of you. Your mama should have taught you better. Rojo says she's setting up a scenario. I had to move back to Canada to get healthy. Then she'll panic and run back to Salah after 30 days after insert visa run. That could be a possibility, but I don't know. I'm going to be real with y'all. I think if she goes home to Canada, she's not going to return back. The money keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. I think Salah's at the point where he just doesn't want to pretend anymore. He is so over her. He's shutting himself in his room. He wants nothing to do with her. Like, he's just waiting for her to go home and stay home. I don't think she's going back to Kuwait. Tweet T says she declares she won't be eating on camera anymore, tells us how it's just easy content, and starts reminiscing on how you get to eat good food, junk, and conversate. You get to talk about whatever, talk crap between gorging, and it won't mix for my new thing. Yes, Chantal has said many times in the past, one of the appeals of doing mukbang content, it was easy content. It was so easy for her. Just buy a bunch of junk food, turn on the camera, gorge yourself stupid, make a little bit of conversation between the bites, upload it to YouTube, and you make money. She loved that. She loved the easy content that required no effort. She adored it. And that's why she started doing it. She hopped on the back of the mukbang trend and just rode that train and has kept riding it for years. And on top of the mukbang trend, she's added in the fetish content. She added in the Feti content, the immobilizers, the gainers, the bloaters. Trust me, there's all kinds of avenues that she's gone into. And for anybody who's curious, please feel free to do your own research. You'll be amazed. On top of that, for those who were back around during Crackhead Olympics, some other things that she's done of a adult fetish nature: exhibitionism, flashing as parts of her body frequently, like walking around without a bra, with her bra on, but flashing us her kitty cat, using rugs on camera, trying to whistle in the people that like to get high, talk about poo. Like, she was always talking about her bowel movements, coming on camera and literally sitting and pooping her pants. Y'all remember that? That started all the way back in Crackhead Olympics. Sure did. Like, the whole talking about poo, talking about bodily functions, so many things, so many fetishes, trying to whistle in the BDSM crowd. The whole talk with her and Natter and I want him to claim me. Like, she's tried to reach for different adult groups, adult fetishes, to bring in different groups. She was hoping for those fetish guys that would come and see her on YouTube, and YouTube was the portal. They could get introduced to her, and if they liked her, they could pay her for content off of YouTube. And here's another possibility. The videos that she does for these feedies, she could be making the videos for them first and then double dipping and putting those videos on YouTube to make even more money. Yeah, you can do that if you don't put the person's name in the video and it's not addressed directly to them. It could be for a feedie. They get their own copy. But she's always been about that easy content and let's see what I can do to make money off of it. Julie says, Chantal reveals her weight and diabetes are out of control. Who would have guessed? Claims she is now 166, 366. Jokes that Kuwait has an obesity problem, and I think it's the Santa Fe sauce. So funny. Is she ever going to change? No. Yeah, I remember before she went to Kuwait, like, maybe she was under the impression that everybody in Kuwait would be about her size, and so she would not be such an oddity. And then she went to Kuwait and found out that, yes, she is still an oddity, that there aren't a lot of people that are in the 400, 500-pound range. So she still stuck out like a sore thumb. You know, there's being a little bit overweight and obese, Chantal, but you are super, super, super morbidly obese. You are 5 feet tall and over 500 pounds. You're going to stick out like a sore thumb. And that's why, despite the fact that you wear the hijab and wear the abaya, in public, you're still really shy and you still feel really awkward because you know people are looking at you and wondering what's up. Two-tailed caperer says Foodie Beauty going straight from fast food funeral bee moments to restricted diet is going to be so funny. We know that she has no coping mechanisms for her misery besides food, and absolutely no hobbies. If she doesn't start raging immediately, we know she secretly has snacks. Correct. She's saying, I'm going through withdrawals. I'm looking at the thumbnail right now. She doesn't look stressed out at all. If she were really staying away from the junk food, she'd be flipping all the way out. And if she's not, if she's calm, there's a reason. Nana Spike T says, wait a minute. You asked the doctor about certain concerns your audience is noticing, and your caring husband gave you a dirty look and said, why are you asking stupid questions? And the doctor didn't even acknowledge the issues. Yeah, they both don't care. Yeah, no, they don't. If she's a tourist, the doctor can't do much. And Salah straight up doesn't care. So you're right. None of them, neither one of them care. Yup says, so your doctor said nothing about your watery eyes, discolored feet, or noticeable limp during your diabetic follow-up appointment, Foodie? Would Salah receive the same treatment if this were him? Does your status affect your medical care? I think it does. I've heard that tourists do not get extensive, serious medical care. They tell them, you need that. You need to go home to your home country. They only do the basic stuff. Oh, well, you should have a cat. Adopt him. I would. I think Queen Booger needs a playmate. I would adopt him. All he needs is a bath and some love and some kibble and some chin scritchies. I'll give you the chin scritchies. Look at those beautiful sad eyes. I see the beauty beneath the grime. That poor baby. He just needs some love. He's gorgeous. Oh, I would love him and cuddle him and call him George. Tucker Budson says, I think he liked his surprise. Now this is so sweet. So this dog, the two dogs in the house, they love to play in the pool, but it's winter. But they're feeling very sad because they can't play in the pool during the winter. So the owners decided to rent an indoor pool so the dogs could play in the pool. You know, have some little playtime. So here's a dog.
I'm here.
Okay, I got to turn that down. Oh, there we go. They rented the indoor pool. The dogs are having a time of their life. And I could tell they're older dogs. I could tell by the patches of gray near the eyes. Yep. What a sweet thing to do as an owner. You notice your dogs are just like feeling a bit sad because they can't do the summertime stuff in winter. And you're like, I'm going to rent an entire indoor pool just for them. What a wonderful idea. Good on you for taking care of your puppers. Offred says, I don't know what I'm going to do about content. Yeah, what content? I call it nonsense. What non-content is she talking about? What content? What does she mean? Florida Salt and Sass says, agree 100%. There's a lot of things to consider. Worrying about how authorities will get almost 500 pounds of dead weight out and downstairs, coupled with burial cost. Not to mention any legal loophole things being exposed about them and their living situation. Well, like I've made mention of this before. If something medical happens to her at home or away from home, she's in serious trouble. If you're having a stroke or a heart attack or a medical emergency, every second counts. And every bit of health also counts. And if every single one of your vital organs is in trouble, what are your chances of survival? If you've got an enlarged heart, if you've got a heart murmur, if you've had blood clots in your lungs before, you might have blockages in your heart due to cholesterol, due to just fatty tissue, your messed up kidneys, your messed up liver. What do the doctors have to work with? You're dooming yourself. You are absolutely dooming yourself. Nature is Amazing says, this is the most magical thing I have ever seen. Yeah, it looks straight out of a fairy tale. Once upon a time in a land far away. Like, this is gorgeous. Oh my God. Anybody ever grew up reading fairy tales? This is straight out of a picture book. How wonderful is this? Yup Yup says, Salah shows his concern with every burger he brings you, Foodie. He's nothing more than an enabler, and you know it. Yeah, he does his job. He brings her the food. He goes to his room, and he doesn't say anything to her. He enables her with food and with silence, and that's all she requires for a husband. Okay, what else do we got? Narky says she spends all their money on food and they're beyond broke. She promised him a travel couples channel and they can't travel anywhere because they're broke and she's unhealthy. The secret is mealtime insulin. She doesn't want anyone to know because it is the last treatment option. You guys ever heard the old saying, eating someone at a house and home? She's actually doing it. She's eating them both out of house and home. And she doesn't care. Like, even if she knows, hey, we need money for rent and we need money for bills, she's literally eating them both out of house and home. And she doesn't give a crap. She can go back home to Canada. She don't care if she eats them both out of the oceanside villa. Mrs. Flupa Booty says, my thoughts on her latest. Salah is at his wit's end over her health because he's worried about money and Canadian citizenship, which he thinks is still in the cards. It's not. 2, not sure what her big change is. Ozempic and low carb keto. What do y'all think the big secret is? The Ozempic thing, Chantal tried taking that long ago. And Ozempic is not cheap. For like a 30-day supply is like $1,000, maybe more than $1,000. And she doesn't have insurance to cover it. But when she was taking the Ozempic, even though she was taking it, it did not stop the food addiction voice in her head. She still had the thoughts and the urges, and she didn't like the Ozempic stopping her from doing it. Hence the reason why she stopped doing it. She wanted to continue with the bad habit. So I don't think that's the big secret. Yup Yup says, any addict can be scared straight for a couple of days, Foodie. Then the fear fades and is replaced with either will or weakness. Do you really believe you have the will? I don't think she does. She doesn't have coping skills, coping mechanisms, correct support system and reinforcement to keep her on track. She needs people around her that will tell her the truth and will see through her BS and not put up with it and call her out every single time. That if she tries to lie or do the baby voice, it's not going to work on them. She needs more people like that around her. She needs less of the yes men that enable her and fund her. But she's determined to keep one group around her and not enough of the other. Wonder Mom says, I would like to point out that if my hubby, a type 2 diabetic at an A1C of 10, his doctor would send his butt to an inpatient problem faster than he could beg for mercy. They think Foodie is a tourist. They do not care if she unalives herself. They know she will change nothing. So here's some information. A1C levels that are higher than 9% are dangerous. High A1C levels can lead to severe health complications, including heart disease, kidney disease, nerve damage, slow healing, stroke, memory loss, and retinopathy. Improving A1C levels involves a combination of regular monitoring, lifestyle changes, and medication. So you're playing a very dangerous game with your health, Foodie. You are effing around and you might find out. Two-Tailed Caperer says Foodie Beauty's Valentine B moment was alarming. Over 7K calories and 15K milligrams of sodium for a 40-year-old diabetic woman on the lowest dose of meds. She has no regard for her health and never will. Mealtime insulin will just give her excuses to keep eating crap. It will be the end of her. Again, she's misusing her medication. It's about managing her B moments and keeping the addiction going versus what the medication is actually for, and that's her diabetes. She's never mind. Let's see, what do we got here? Okay, I love this comment from you, Donna. Donna says, I don't give a crap. This needs to be said. This right here. This is the equivalent of watching someone shoot up, hit the pipe, get a fix. This is on a public platform for anyone to see, and it's ridiculous. She should be banned, and her channel should be deleted for promoting addiction and harmful behavior. YouTube is a joke for allowing this, but it's Chantal, so it's fine, right? Yeah, you know what the funny thing is about YouTube? And YouTube, I'm taking you to task for this. Riddle me this and riddle me that, YouTube. How is it, YouTube, sir or ma'am, that you've got all kinds of rules about glorifying food issues, right? They're on the books. You got rules against, you cannot glorify food issues. And yet, this is what you allow Foodie to do. And also yet, those of us that react to Foodie, we are not engaging in said self-harm behavior. Yet, you got a problem with certain words. We got to use code words instead of the real words. So you're protecting the person who's got the problem, monetizing the problem. They're using your platform as a portal to meet up with people who enable and fund the problem and pull them around the block to make money off of them, pulling money away from you. But those of us who are not engaging in said behavior, if we dare to talk about said behavior, we got to find silly words to replace other words. We can't say the binge word. We can't use certain words on YouTube. You'll spank us and send us to the corner for a word, but you're okay with this crap? Can I ask why? Is it okay if I ask why? That you're protecting the person with the problem who is abusing the platform and exposing people to fetish content, but you have the most scrutiny on the people who talk about her, making us use silly words to cover up other words. That's nuts. Okay, y'all check this out. Duchess of Langley says, to put the calories into perspective, this is Giant from the TV show Gladiators in the UK. He is 6'5". Wow, he's tall. And weighs 280 pounds. He used to be a professional bodybuilder and would eat 10K calories a day. He now eats about 5K calories a day. So he's a big dude. Big dude. But 10K calories for a bodybuilder who is, stacked with muscle, that's not a big deal, because when you're working out, you're burning those calories. So you can eat 10K calories. You're eating those calories to help repair the muscle and build up the muscle. What's Foodie's excuse? She's not 6'5". She's not an athlete. She's not a bodybuilder. Yet she's going to sit down and eat 7,000 calories at a time and then go right to bed. That's an easy way to gain weight. But this person who was a professional bodybuilder, they're not bodybuilding anymore, and he eats about 5K a day, which means he's eating less than Foodie does when she does a mukbang. PTF024 says 8K calories, a rage stream and rage posting in her comment section. Tell us your husband didn't do a doggone thing for you on Valentine's Day without telling us he didn't do crap. Yup says, according to Sansa Cooks, Foodie Beauty's V-Day B moment was almost 8K calories and over 15,000 milligrams of sodium. Her A1C and BS labs must be atrocious. Incoming after meal insulin beats, perhaps. Yeah, you misusing the insulin. Y'all check this out. This is so cool. From Science Girl, inside of an amethyst geode. Y'all look at this. I love geodes. It's like a little island in there. I wonder how much that weighs. They probably had to bring that in on a crane. It looks really heavy. And here's something cool from Science Girl. In Budapest, recycling machines dispenses food for homeless cats. Aw, what a great idea. The way the kitties get fed, and it's good for the environment. Another cool thing from Science Girl, the colors of a Bork's parakeet. It is so lovely, and it blends in perfectly with the flowers. It's so pretty. Pretty burb. All right, we're done with this for now. Oh my goodness, it went on for a minute. That's okay. That is okay. Chantal's video is, it's not that long, so it'll be quick to go through. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for the nonsense, the BS she's about to spout out at us? And ma'am, I'm sorry, I'm not being mean. You are not 366 pounds. Don't make me pull up that old vlog of yours. Your face was not that big. It wasn't that full. You're a liar. You're a liar.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. So this is a video just providing you an update of take my glasses off, they're fogging. I don't need them anyway since I'm not driving, but I like to look around and it's kind of blurry otherwise. But Salah is getting my medications topped up at the pharmacy, and I thought I would take this opportunity to just, you know.
Is it a real pharmacy or is it like a street pharmacy? Is it one of those people kind of thing?
Give you an update about.
I mean, because we all remember, let's not forget, his sister is a pharmacist. So is it one of those, hey sis, can you help us out? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Seeing the doctor today, and yeah, so where do I even begin? I have a little bit left of my sugar-free flat white left.
Listen, you can tell us it's sugar-free, but I doubt it. I doubt it's sugar-free. I mean, how do we know? You're going to dump 10 pounds of sugar in that sucker. How are we going to know?
Cold. I got it before my appointment, but whatever. So it's been about 7 months or so since I've seen a doctor regarding my diabetes, had my A1C checked, and they usually recommend every 3 months. So basically I had my weight checked and I'm right back up to, actually it's really weird because I'm 166 kg.
Yeah, it is weird. You know why it's weird? Because it's a lie. Because you're lying. You know what? I'm sick of your lies. I'm sick of it. Sick of it. Don't go there. Don't go there. This was you in 2017 when you were 365. The weight that you're claiming that you're at right now. Look at your face. Yes, ma'am, you were younger. I acknowledge that. But the shape of your face. And notice at 366, there was no pointy chin. You big liar with all those filters. With the contour filter on the bottom half of your face to give yourself a chin. That was you at 365. You're not 365. You're not 366. You slipped up the other day and you said you were 500 pounds. I'm telling you guys, I think she's about 550 plus. And I know it's kind of hard to tell because of all the filters. She uses like a lengthening filter to stretch herself out to make herself appear taller so she won't appear rounder. I understand. But the filters can't do much more than what they're doing. They really can't. Like there's no tricks that she can pull anymore to make herself seem smaller. But that was her at 365 pounds. So y'all take a look at that face. Just hold it in your mind for a second. And let's go back to 2025, Chantal. Does that look like 365 to you? Doesn't the face look a bit rounder? Yeah, it does. It really, really does. And if her face looks that round, then that means there's more weight attached to her in other areas, because the body does distribute weight all over the body, not just on one part. So go ahead and tell us another lie.
Geez. That seems like the cursed number for me. I'm just going to flat out admit, hands down, I have just been really, really, really struggling.
No, you're not. No. Like I said, the only thing you're struggling with is if you've got feedies coming at you, wanting request after request after request, and they want you to eat more and more and more food. You're trying to figure out how to expand and stretch your stomach out to do all of it, to fulfill all those requests. Hence the reason why you eat every 2 hours. You're doing the competitive eater thing where you stretch out your stomach so your stomach can handle all that food without rupturing. You can't let your stomach shrink if you're doing the feeding request on YouTube and off. That's the only struggle you got.
And with making any kind of dietary lifestyle changes that are healthy for me. So I got weighed. I had my A1C checked, and it's 10. It's back at 10. I think it was 10, I think last year, maybe a year and a half ago, and then it went back down to 9. Now it's back at 10. I did ask him about my face because a lot of people were commenting, like, ask him about your face, like your eyes. I don't know, people say my eyes are bulging out of my head. My face is droopy. My face is puffy. And the doctor literally just looked at me like I was mental and just completely dismissed what I said. Like he didn't even really.
He probably looked at you and thought, the things that you're asking about point to things that I can't do for you. You're a tourist. If you want the extensive, serious testing, medical care, you got to go home to Canada for that, since you are a Canadian citizen. You are not a Kuwaiti citizen. There's only so much you can do. You are asking him questions about things that require a serious examination, blood test, all kinds of stuff. He's only going to do so much. Like, you're a tourist. He can't do a whole lot for you.
Like, acknowledge it. And Salah kind of gave me a dirty look. Like, why are you even...
This feels shady. This feels really shady. Salah just kind of gave me a dirty look. Why would you say that on camera about your loving husband? Salah just gave me a dirty look. That feels really snarky, Chantal. You're painting your husband in a negative light. Oh, he just got snarky and he gave me a dirty look. Would he appreciate you saying that on camera? I don't think he would. I wonder if he were in the car right now, if he'd say that while he was around, or you're saying it because he's not around. You're talking trash behind your alleged husband's back.
Asking these stupid things. So y'all can stop about the I'm having a stroke, whatever you think,
She's basically saying that we're all crazy. Like, girl world, we're crazy. We're seeing things. We're noticing the bulging, leaky eyes and one half of her face swollen, which could point to heart complications. Like the patches on her feet, which point to perhaps diabetic neuropathy, her dragging her foot. But we're crazy. We're seeing all these things and we're pointing them out in our reacts in the comment sections and the live chats, but we're nuts. She's basically saying we're nuts. You guys are seeing things. You're being hateful. No, this is what we see. This is what we see.
that I'm dying. I mean, you know.
I'm going to say it. I'm not saying this hatefully. Chantal, you are pushing your body to the limit. You are. I don't think your body can take much more. You've been flirting with the Grim Reaper for years. You keep flirting him. You're flirting. You're texting him. Call me. Let's hang out and have lunch. Let's have some poutine. You're flirting with the Grim Reaper. It's like you're playing a game of chicken with the Grim Reaper. And yet you won't stop. Like I don't know why you're racing so quickly to your demise. Like what is it? You want to end up below the grass? It kind of feels like that, like you just given up on life and you're racing to be underneath the grass versus being on top. And you got a bunch of beezers and enablers and funders. They might as well just pick up a shovel and all go to the nearest graveyard and wait for you. Again, I know that's harsh, but that's basically what they're doing. Like they're helping you dig the hole. And they're doing it almost eagerly. It's an ugly thought. It is. It's very ugly, but they might as well just go and grab a shovel and walk to the nearest graveyard and wait for you. You're doing self-harm content. You're hurting your body. Your body is screaming for help. It is screaming for change. You don't want to change. I don't know what it is that your body has done so wrong to you that you are being cruel to your own body. You're punishing it for something. You're beating yourself up internally. But you are determined to keep going with that. You're torturing your own body, your own organs. Good Lord. Calm down with that.
You know, like I'm not healthy, but you know, I think people are just really dramatic. You know, really dramatic.
No, we're not. And I'm going to say something personal, and this is not me dumping on anybody. Okay? I've experienced both sides of the addiction coin. The front side of being an addict and knowing what that's like. But I've also experienced the underside of it, losing somebody to addiction. And that is painful. I know both sides of that coin, Chantal. I know them very well. And both sides are ugly. They're very ugly. And you come online and you make excuses about, oh, I can't do it. It's so hard. It's impossible. No, it's not. It's impossible if you say it's impossible. You write your own prophecies. If somebody says, I can't do something, if you put it in your mind, you can't do something, then you'll make your own prophecy come true. Because you said, I can't do it, then you won't be able to do it. But if you say to yourself, I'm going to do it. I'm going to beat this thing. I am going to fight it. I'm going to get past it. Then you will fight. You'll find inside of you to fight. You'll figure it out. And you may stumble and you may fall, but if you keep on with it, you will succeed. But I'm sick to death of hearing you get online acting as if you're the only addict in the world and nobody understands addiction like you do. And you can't do it. You can't get past it. Bull crap. I did it. Other people have done it. Why can't you? Here's the thing that really ticks me off. All you have to worry about is you. You don't have an outside job that you have to go to that might stress you out. You don't have a family you have to worry about. All you have to worry about in your day is you. That gives you all the time in the world to seek out therapy, to talk to people, to go to any counseling sessions, work out, do some sort of low impact aerobics, go to doctor's appointments, whatever it is you need to do You got all the time in the world to do it, and you got more than enough money. So what's the excuse today? What is it? What could you tell me that would make it all make sense? Don't give me excuses. Don't want to hear them. I really don't. I really, really don't. This has been going on for years. This whole crazy circle cycle thing going on for years. I don't want to hear your nonsense. I've been watching you for a long time. Looked in your eyes through these videos. You're not ready. You don't want to give it up. You are devoted to keeping your addictions alive and well and fed. You've structured your whole life and your whole channel around feeding all of those addictions and attracting people who will help you. You built this toxic, dark addiction machine. And you keep it going. You're not breaking it down. You're not taking a sledgehammer and smashing it because you're making money with your issues. You monetize everything. You've monetized issues that you have no business monetizing. Bringing fetishes on YouTube that are meant for private forums. And you do that in an effort to attract more people to help you with your food addiction. You're not looking for solutions. You're looking for people to help you keep this harmful lifestyle going until something happens to you. That's what's up. So take your lame crap somewhere else.
Like over the top. Okay, I know my health conditions are serious.
Yeah, they
I'm
are.
not here to downplay them. I'm not.
Yes, you are. Yeah, I've got serious health conditions, but there is no but. You're sick. You're very sick. You're critically sick. Another 50 to 75 pounds, your butt is going to be bedbound. And listen to me, lady. Don't think that Salah is going to take care of you. Don't think that he's going to be the one to bathe you in bed or on the couch or wherever it is you're laying, that he's going to help you get up off the couch. At your size, you would need 2 or 3 people to help you safely move from one location to the other without they themselves getting hurt or having back problems. Salah doesn't have any medical training to help with skin lesions or look out for fungus on the skin or bed sores or to recognize if something's about to go septic. He doesn't have any medical training. He doesn't know what's going on. He already doesn't like you. Are you under the impression that you can trap him with being bedbound? That's not going to work. He'll run first. He's already at his wit's end with you. And if you push him much more by being more of a burden, he'll run. He'll ghost you. You'll be laying up in that apartment with no way to move and no way to get out. Then what you gonna do?
Here to, make belief that they're not. So like, yeah, this I feel like I'm all over the place. This appointment was more for my diabetes checkup, but also to talk to a doctor about trying something new.
But Chantal, you talked to a doctor before and they gave you advice about how to eat properly. They showed you like a handful of this, proteins, vegetables. They were telling you what to do. Did you follow any of that person's advice? No. So what makes this time any different, honestly? Especially after a week or so of fast food funerals. You didn't just do one, you're doing a fast food funeral for every fast food restaurant. And you're using that as an excuse to have B moments. I got to do a fast food funeral for every fast food joint in the place. No, you really don't have to, but you want to.
To help me lose weight. So here's the part where you're going to be probably a bit disappointed, but I cannot really, I don't want to talk about it right now or, reveal what it is. I don't want to do that basically until I've done it consistently for a good week, okay? And after that week, I will let you know everything, like in detail, okay? But I wanted to get some help with that in particular because, you know, I definitely need it. And
then go home. The help that you need, you can't get in Kuwait. You can't get the serious medical care that you require in Kuwait. They won't give it to you. You need to go back home to Canada and get a complete physical checkup, exam, inside, outside, test all over the place. You need to know what's going on underneath the hood, Chantal. You don't know how bad it is. And I think that you're avoiding doctors because I think you have an idea how bad it is, but you don't want to know. You're operating under the theory of, if I don't know about it, then I don't know about it. And I don't have to think about it. And it doesn't exist. It does exist. If you care about your health, you want to know what's going on with you. You'll want to be aware. I'm sure the doctor is going to tell you some things you don't want to hear. And you'll probably be shocked on how bad it is. But you got to go home for that. You've got to go home because you're not going to get the medical care in Kuwait.
Kuwait has a lot of obesity specialist doctors.
You need more than that. You need obesity specialist doctors, but you also need people that specialize in food addiction. You're going backwards. You're addressing the weight, but not the issue causing the weight. Okay? You got to start with what's up here. What is going on, Foodie? You got to clean up the upstairs so the downstairs has a chance. You can address your weight. Yes, you need to work on your weight. But what about the issue causing you to eat? Oh my God, just stupid has no limit, does it?
They have a lot of diet clinics and stuff like that.
If you're a food addict, diets don't work. They don't work. Diets are for people that don't have food addictions. They want to lose a little bit of weight. Chantal is hundreds of pounds overweight. Can she change her diet to eat healthier? Absolutely. But a diet ain't going to get it done. She's done that in the past. Amberlyn Reed has done that in the past. They're doing the Jenny Craig thing and the whatever it was that Amber did. Diets don't work. Even the organizations that offer the diet plans will say we don't deal in food addiction. We're not a fix for that. That's a whole separate issue. You're way above the diet thing, Foodie. You need professional help with the mental and emotional issues that are fueling the addiction and keeping it going.
And there's a lot of different lifestyle change programs, dietary wise for people with diabetes, with obesity, because Kuwait has an obesity problem. And I think it's the Santa Fe sauce. Anyway, but I start a lot of things and I don't finish them.
No.
I quit them so fast on my channel, and I just don't want to disappoint people by getting them in my corner by starting something. And I also don't want to have all of the noise from all of the outside sources of you guys, because no matter how much I try to tune out people's opinions and everything, I feel like you guys are on board with me with this a lot of the time with my, my life. You've been watching me for a long time, and I just really, really feel like I can't have that noise right now. So it's better that I keep it you know, out of the public eye for now. I will share kind of like how I'm feeling, symptoms of because I even sounds weird for me to say, but I'm going to go through a ton of fast food withdrawals. I'm going to go through a lot of withdrawals in general.
Well, you know what, Chantal, I'm going to know if you're staying true to your word, because you have built up some unhealthy habits. You're used to fast food being your everything, your food being your everything. It is your comfort. It is how you fill your time. It is how you keep from being bored, or what you use when you're bored. It is your coping skill, your coping mechanism. You've built an entire life around food, talking about food, eating food, finding people who also talk about food. I'm going to be keeping an eye on your next couple of live chats. And if I don't see you coming in and pinning a comment in your chat saying, no talking about food, do not talk about food, and getting on people's cases if they start talking about food, then I know you're a liar. If you're serious about this, then you need to be serious. You got to tell people, I'm not talking about food. Please don't talk about food with me. I don't want to be triggered. I don't want to eat anything. Also, I'm going to be looking to see if you're eating food on camera. Let's see you do a live where you're not eating in front of people. Oh, that's going to be interesting, because you have to eat in front of people. So if you continue to eat in front of people, you continue to talk about food, they talk about food with you, and you're not speaking up and saying, don't talk about food with me because I'm a food addict, then it's a wrap. You're a liar. You're triggering yourself. You're allowing other people to trigger you. You're giving them permission to do it. You're catering to people like Anime Sucks in your chat. And it's all for naught. It's all a big lie.
From not having the food that I love. And it's going to be really hard. It's going to be mental, spiritual, physical detox from changing the way I used to eat to this new, dietary plan. And I just wanted to come at the same time as, getting a checkup on my diabetes, kind of have a fresh start idea of where I'm going, and so I can keep track of numbers when I'm doing this new lifestyle change. And I want to make sure that the doctor's on board with that and okay. And I got, the go ahead, everything is okay. But I'll explain more of that, what this lifestyle change is, what this whole new thing is, okay, in 1 week. So mark it down. I don't know. I will definitely keep track.
When she says this now, you know what she's doing? I'm just going to spell it out for y'all. Like, Chantal has her beezers. And she knows there are people in her audience that they want her to get healthy. The percentage of her audience that really cares about her health, and they're just sticking around. They're hanging on by their fingernails, waiting for her to turn a corner and get healthy. I would say out of the 100% of her audience, there's maybe 20% of people that actually give a crap. And the other 80% are there. They're stupid. They come in there talking about food, about the foods they've eaten. They encourage her to eat, asking her what she's going to eat. They purposely trigger her to eat. 80%. But that 20% that actually gives a crap, that are hanging on by their fingernails, she starves them to death. But every so often, she has to toss them a scrap of hope. Like, oh, she's finally turning a corner. She's finally getting it. Hey, starved beezers. Those of you that are not feedies. Those of you that are not coming in acting like jackholes, talking about food and triggering her addiction. Let me save you the stress and the headache. I've been watching Chantal for many years. This is a cycle with her. She'll toss you just a scrap of hope just to keep you around, to keep you from leaving, to keep you from losing all sense of hope. So you'll continue to watch her videos and her lives. She won't ever give you a full meal, though. She won't give you too much hope, just a scrap, just a little teeny tiny piece. And then as soon as she gives it to you, she'll come back doing the mukbangs and disappoint you all over again. I'm not being a negative Nancy saying that. I'm being a realist. You understand? I'm being a realist. I'm just trying to save you guys the stress and the disappointment you're going to feel when she comes back online in less than a week, maybe 3 days, where she says, it's too hard. I tried so hard, you guys. You don't understand how addiction works. You don't understand food addiction. It's impossible. It's not impossible. She just says it is. She acts like she's the only one who's ever been addicted to anything. But she's trying to structure things as, you guys aren't experiencing this, therefore you don't understand. You don't have to understand. Her food addiction is her issue. It's been going on even before YouTube. She's always known about this issue, and she's never been proactive with getting on top of it. And as long as she's monetizing it and glorifying it and making it seem like it's okay and normal to all of you, she's going to continue. This is how she makes money on YouTube. This is how she makes money off of YouTube. She has nothing else. There is no plan B. Understand that. Food is her whole world. It is her income. She never created a side road that she could travel down in case she wanted to let go of the food. She just grabbed onto it and kept on with it. So no, I don't believe her.
Cold. Oh, well. I forgot to bring it in there with me. But, yeah, Salah usually takes a long time in the pharmacy. It's usually pretty busy, or I don't know. But, yeah, I'm right out of supplies. I don't need needles, but they always give me a box of needles. I have like 2 boxes already that I haven't finished. But all my meds, like insulin and stuff like that. So
could it be because you're misusing your meds? That because you've been upping the mukbangs, there's been an uptick in the amount of food you're eating, you are going through your medication faster. You're upping the dose to keep up with the mukbangs that you're doing for these feeder idiots.
Anyway, I think that's about it. It's just going to be a short little update video. One other thing I want to say is that, and this is major for my channel, okay? It's friggin' hot in here. Whew. One thing that's major, and that's, I'm not going to be eating on camera.
Yay! Well, that's a relief. I just saw... You know, Chantal, I love that face. Mama, you're giving me face today. I love it. Hold on. That is a thumbnail if I ever did see one. Strike a pose. I love it. No. Go back. Hey, what was that face? I lost it. I'll find it later. Go ahead though. Boo. I held it and then I screwed up and I lost it. That happens. I'll find it later. But I'm loving this. No eating on camera. Does that mean no more mukbang videos? Does that mean no more eating during the lives? I am delighted. Good news. Love that. Love that. Love that.
I'm not going to be eating on camera. Mukbangs are just, they're so easy, and they're just such easy content. You know?
So, Beezers, did you hear that? It's easy content. She's telling you guys without saying it, she does things because they're easy. She knows that she could just put anything on YouTube and monetize it and make money with it. She could do a video of paint drying on a wall and post it on YouTube and put ads on it and still make money. You know, paint drying ASMR or touching grass ASMR, make money with it because it's monetized. She is confessing she is not concerned with making quality content for you guys. It's all about, let me do something easy that requires no effort, no thought, no preparation, no thought about what my audience will enjoy. I just do it because it's easy. She's been doing easy content for years. But what she fails to realize, even when you do the mukbang content, even the mukbangers from way back, in order to keep people interested in the mukbang videos, they've had to bump it up about 10 notches. I see mukbangers out there, when they do their videos, bright colors. The food looks great. Color themes, food themes, they keep it fresh. I know she likes that word fresh. They keep it interesting, and a lot of thought and preparation goes into the videos. There's one mukbang channel that I used to watch a lot. Her name is Honeybee, where she would make a lot of the things that she was making. And it was really interesting. Like, she would make foods that look like household objects and color themes and everything. The colors popped and she was so pretty. I used to watch her a lot. That's the kind of mukbang content that people want to see. They don't want to see bland, boring, beige food, ordinary fast food. They don't want to see that no more. They want to see something more evolved. And she has not evolved.
You know, you get to eat good food. You get to conversate.
No. You don't get to eat good food. You get to eat junk food, which is, you don't care about good food. It's not healthy food you're eating. You're eating junk food.
You get to talk about whatever. And it's not gonna mix with my new thing I'm trying here. First of all, the things I'm gonna be consuming are not gonna be mukbang worthy, and it's gonna kind of give away what I'm doing. And I don't want to just, no, I don't.
You know, I'm wondering if she's talking to Anime Sucks, and Anime is like, I just want you to do the mukbang stuff for me, and we could just sell it privately, say on Telegram or somewhere. Why you giving it away for free on YouTube? Hey, whatever it takes to get this crap off of YouTube, I'm all for it. If she's going to do it, let it be on a private forum. It doesn't belong on YouTube. And Chantal, you know that. You know that. Take this fetish crap off of YouTube. Put it where it belongs. If you're going to do it that way. Be respectful of people on YouTube.
I have to realize that I can't do both. You know, like, I can't do both, especially right now at first. I can't focus.
Wait, what? What was that? I can't do that at first. No, wrong attitude. You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like the addiction voice is still speaking to you, and it's saying, well, you got this thought of being healthy. We'll let you roll with it for a minute. But at the same time, you're already in negotiations with it. And it's saying, you go ahead and be healthy at first. You can bring us in a little bit later when you get those cravings. What you should be saying is, I can't do this anymore. It stops here. But you gave yourself away a second ago. You said, I can't do this at first. No. No. Nope. No, ma'am. You can't bring in the junk food. You'll lose control. You will. You know you will. But you are bargaining with the food addiction. You're bargaining with it. You're negotiating with it. You're sitting at a table negotiating the terms. Can't do that.
It's my channel on food when I'm trying to change my lifestyle. So I know, I'm going to lose some audience because a lot of people don't like the more serious content about my life. A lot of people just like to come and chill, watch me eat food they can't eat. And now I'm one of the...
You know what, Chantal? If you lose those people, if there are people in your audience, if there are beezers, that they get salty over the fact that you are not eating on camera, that should just tell you what they were there for, what their intentions were. That they're not really into you per se. They were into what you can give them. That you were given that fetish content for free, girl. They didn't have to go to an adult site or an adult forum and pay for it, as they should if they want to see it. They were coming on YouTube and getting their rocks off for free with you. And you were allowing it and you were encouraging it. But that should tell you everything you need to know about that section of the audience. You want people to care about you? Well, let's find out how many people actually care about you.
Those people that can't eat that food that I would eat in my mukbang. So I have to really, I have to do it, guys. Like it's, like, it is gross for people to like talk about my death and stuff, but it is a reality in a way. Like, I'm not going to live a long life like this. And, I think of my husband, he's so young.
You know what, Chantal, you take offense to people who talk about your possible demise and you think it's gross. But I'm going to put this in your face. You take offense to that because it brings up the subject of your morality. It brings up the subject of your health and your life and your lack of life and where you might be headed. But you know what's even more gross? The fact that you take offense to that at the same time you get on camera, and every time you do a mukbang, every time you sit down and eat 6,000 calories worth of a dessert tray or sweets that Salah has brought you, or Feti has paid for you to eat KFC or Hardee's or McDonald's or Burger King or Texas Roadhouse, every time you do that, you're sending out a message of, I don't care about my life. I don't care about my health. I don't care about myself at all. I am encouraging death to get ever closer. I'm not running away from death. I am running towards death. This is the attitude. This is the message that you yourself are projecting outward. Your whole attitude is, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. So you're accusing us of being gross, talking about what might occur with you. At the same time, you get on camera monetizing self-harm content, and that's exactly what it is, and you know it. Hurting your own body, exploiting your own issue with food in front of everybody, trying to make some coin off of that. You don't think that's gross? Getting on YouTube when you know there are people who are viewers of yours and Girl World. They might have had issues with food. They might be triggered by what you're doing. And what's even more gross than that, you put tags on your videos. You did in the past. I don't know what you're doing these days. Tags like ED recovery, blah, 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 whistling those people into your channel. And they're looking for channels they can go to where maybe that can help them stay on the road to recovery. and then you tag your videos, and they might watch your videos and get triggered. You might be messing with other people's recovery. You might be triggering them to have a B moment of their own. So how gross is that? You got your own issue with food because the way you're handling it on YouTube, you might be triggering people and put them into a downward spiral, all because they innocently clicked on a video that was tagged with ED recovery, BED, not realizing what they're about to watch. And they click on your video, and there you are eating cookies, eating pizza. It's wrong. It is so wrong. You should really stop.
And he's a lot healthier than me. He should have a healthy wife. And he's really, really, really just like at his wit's end. Like, he's just so concerned about my health. Like, he can't. Like, he's...
You know what he's concerned with, Chantal? And this is just some raw, real talk. He has no emotional attachment to you. He is not emotionally invested in you. He is worse than love and hate. There is something worse than love and hate. There is indifference. He's indifferent to you. If he cares about anything, he cares about the fact that, I'm sorry to say it like this, you are his pay pig. You are his piggy bank. You're giving him a paycheck. You're taking care of him. He sees you on a downward physical decline, that you're gaining more and more weight, that you're close to being bedbound, and he might be concerned about his end of the deal. That if you become bedbound, will that affect you giving him money, making money? What burden you will become if you become bedbound. That's why he's stepping in now. He didn't care before. He didn't care for over 2 years, but the situation has gotten critical. You are on the verge of being bedbound and becoming more of a burden. And if you get to a place where you can't physically be moved by him, this is an issue. And if you can't make money for him, this is also an issue. Then you're going to be a 500+ pound problem he's going to have to deal with. So he's not concerned for you. It's concerned about what's going to happen to me, how this will affect me. Is this problem going to affect me in a way that I can't handle? That's what it's really about.
It's just so worried about me. And I was thinking of all the pros. Like, I wrote them down, and I'm just going to keep looking at them every single time. Like, I want to get rid of that CPAP. It's starting to make noises. Like, I don't want to fork out like more money. I don't want him to fork out more money on another CPAP.
Oop, there it is. You're cheap. You're cheap. I don't want to fork out more money for a CPAP machine. Oh, what's the matter? You can't use the money to buy fast food. Well, according to you, you're going to be letting go of the fast food, right? Which means more money in pocket, which means you can afford a CPAP. And a CPAP is an important medical device. You need that to breathe and to make sure that you don't stop breathing in your sleep. It is important. It can't be ignored. Don't be stupid. Get a new CPAP if you need it. Stop being an idiot. You need the CPAP. I don't know if you'll ever be without it, if you can go without it, but you need it right now. You do need it. Stop being dumb. Stop being cheap. Spend money on the CPAP. Just suck it up, buttercup. Get the medical device.
Like, no, I don't want to be wearing that anymore. I don't want to need that. There's a chance, the doctor actually told me this, that there's a chance that some people have sleep apnea, like a lot of thin people too, but sometimes it's not reversible, but sometimes it is.
The thing is, though, he can't say that about you because he's not doing any extensive testing on you. He's not looked at your CPAP. He's not like recalibrated it. He's not giving you physical exams to see what's going on inside of you, to see if that's possible. If you're just getting basic care in Kuwait, Chantal, He can't make that assessment. He's got nothing to go on. Okay? He's got nothing to go on.
If it was caused by obesity, but sometimes it's still not, it just depends. I'm hoping and praying, I'll get another sleep study done here at some point, but that's so far down the line. I'm going to need that machine for a while now.
Yeah.
But there's so many things. There's just so many pros. And the only con to all of this is just that I have to suffer for a short time.
Wrong. Chantel, you're over 500 pounds. Let's just say you really got on a journey for health. You really screwed your head on straight and you battled the food addiction, which is going to take a while. It is. You're an extreme case. It's going to take a while to get fully on top of it. But let's say you got on top of it. And if you lost 100 pounds safely per year, to get down to 200s, it would take you at least 3 years. Can you do it for 3 years consistently? I don't know. That's up to you. That is up to you.
Just have to get through that initial miserable thing, and maybe I'll just always I'll probably always struggle with this, this addiction, and it's just always gonna, be there. And I don't think that eating disorders and addictions fully go away. I think
No, they don't go away. Once an addict, technically, you're always an addict. And there's always a chance of falling back and having a bad moment. But if you have coping skills and coping mechanisms, if you've got a wonderful support system, if you're getting the therapy, you have the power and the strength and the will to say no. That if you start to have a bad moment, you have the power to go, wait a minute, I know what this is. I can have a discussion with myself. Am I eating because I'm hungry? Or am I eating because I'm upset? What is triggering this thing? You can sit down and just really examine it and pause. Push the pause button. I'm pushing the pause button, and I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think about it. Okay, I'm going to think about it. And I'm going to calm down. I'm going to think about it. Okay? I'm feeling the urge, not because I'm hungry, because I ate an hour ago. I'm upset about something. Okay, I realize that. Let's see. I'm going to go take a walk or ride a bike or read a book. I am going to veer things a different way. It gives you a chance to stop and realize what's up versus just mindlessly chasing after the addiction voice.
They're always there. But I think they can be manageable with the right help, with the right system. And, I think initially you got to just push through that detox period, So that's all I want to say. I know we're trying something new. We're doing this again. It's going to be tough. So I don't want to really announce what it really is and everything, because I don't want to let people down, but just know that I'm working on this, and I'll update you fully with all the tea about what it is in about a week. Okay, so until then, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do for content, but
you should have figured that out years ago. But you got lazy and you got greedy, and you just fell back on both.
When you don't focus your life and content around food, there's a lot of things we could probably do here,
There definitely is a lot of things you could do. It's time, Chantal. It's time to refocus. It's time to do something different. Your channel's going down the tubes. Everybody hates the whole Kuwait arc. It is boring. You're doing all these constant mukbangs, eating the same meals over and over and over and over again. Boring. It's like Groundhog Day every day. You get online, you eat the same fast food, you talk about the same boring childhood stories. You get snarky with people, you talk about the reactors, you talk about your supposed struggles with the food issue. At the same time, you're eating a burger. I mean, it's the same crap. The monotony is boring people to death. It's boring the reactors. It's boring girl world. It's boring the Beezers. That's why your views have dropped. Because you refused to evolve and bring in new things, new experiences, show new places, show that you actually give a crap about the content that you're making. You've been making content for years. And you're salty because Girl World is taking that bland potato soup content, adding some vegetables, adding some meat, adding some ingredients, and making it a bit more tasty. We add more to what you have. We have to. So people keep watching us. We got to do it to make it transformative. But we work. We work harder on you than you do. No thank you from you. No thanks at all. Although Girl World carried you on its back during Crackhead Olympics, and you can't deny that. You over there sitting there, greened all the way out on 1,000 milligrams of a wheelchair, unable to speak. We carried your channel, you ungrateful brat. You're welcome. And nobody watches you anymore. A lot of people prefer the reactors. So they get mad at us. Take some notes. Take some notes. What are we doing? How do we interact with our audience? We make people laugh. We talk to them. We care about them. We care about our content. When's the last time you cared about your content and your audience, Chantal, for more than just the monetization, the super chats, the super stickers, begging them for money for cat food? When's the last time you cared, period, about anything, about yourself, about what you do, about the way you care about people? When's the last time you cared? I bet it's been years.
And once I start feeling better, I'll be able to do a lot more. I'll be able to show you guys a lot more things, you know, and kind of shift my content from that messy, just like unhealthy kind of content to something more wholesome.
You know what I'm betting? And I'll put dimes to donuts on this one. So she's saying this now. Here's how I think it's going to go. She's given out her Instagram to a lot of people, her email to a lot of people. She's going to have the Feti guys going wild. They're going to go into a panic. They're going to message her and say, please don't, Foodie. Please don't stop doing the Feti content on YouTube. That's where I watch it. And they're going to offer her money to do the Feti content. Here's this. Here's that. They're going to bring her back to doing it. She worships at the altar of money. It is very important to her. They're going to bring her back to doing it real quick with the financial temptation.
You know, I want to be like an inspiration. I don't want to be like a mess my whole life. I don't want to be known as somebody like, you know, people don't want to become like. I want to be like, you know, I want to just kind of inspire people in a way. And for
you know what, Chantal, 8 years of what you've done on YouTube will never disappear. You can't get rid of it. You can't lie your way around it. You can't rewrite history. But it's up to you what you do from here.
that to happen, I have to become the person I want to, you know, that is in a position to be that person. So anyways, I have these insightful moments and then all goes to hell. So I gotta buckle in. I gotta strap in. Guys. Salah's gonna help me as best as he can. He's a He's like, I'm not having any snacks in the house.
I wonder if Salah gave her an ultimatum. Like he's just at his wit's end. He's at the end of his patience. He's got like a quarter of a nerve left and she's on it. And he's like, I can't deal with this anymore. I can't deal with your filth. I can't deal with your gross, nasty attitude, your lifestyle. You walking around the house for days unbathed, unclothed. I can't do it. I can't. I can't deal with your food addiction. It's wearing on me. You're eating us out of house and home, literally. You either shape up or go home. I wonder if they had that conversation.
Don't even think about it. Like he's going to review all grocery orders. You know, there's not going to be any snacks in that. So
it doesn't matter. I mean, we saw what she did when she wanted her snacks. She waits till he goes to sleep. And what's to stop her from like leaving the house at night and waddling downstairs and walking around the block to go to a cafe or something? What's going to stop her? What's going to stop her from him being asleep and early in the morning she goes to a cafe and gets a sugary coffee and pastries? Like where there's a will, there's a way, and she'll figure it out. That addiction voice is going to be really, 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 really loud if she tries to switch gears. And if she can't get in the Temu mobile and go get it herself, she'll have something delivered, or she'll bug him, or she'll walk out of the house and go get something. Guarantee you that.
Yep. He's willing to sacrifice his snacks for me. Which, you know, which is good.
He already does. Whenever you bring food in the house for him, you grab it for yourself. So he already sacrifices his snacks.
He cares. And yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening to me. And I will see you in the next video.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to be keeping an eye on you, Chantal. Because if you're really buckling down with this thing, you're going to be a nasty, ragey mess. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. But you're going to be a mess for a while. So if you're coming on camera calm as a cucumber, that's going to be a tell. It's going to be a big, big, big tell. Because there ain't no way a food addict of your level can go without that fast food and go cold turkey without freaking all the way out. Let's see what the comments have to say. Oh, excuse me. One moment. Okay, so here's some of the comments. KKM says, girl, this comes from the bottom of my heart, but you need to either get professional help and stick with it or stop trying altogether and accept your fate. Insanity is repeating the same thing and expecting a different result. True. You cannot and will not succeed alone. I'm sorry. I fully agree. She needs locked down, strict inpatient. She needs to go to a facility where she cannot get out. She cannot sneak food in. Nobody else can bring it in. And she has to listen to people. That's the only way she's going to succeed. If you give her just a little bit of wiggle room, she's going to use it. Ashley Brown says, and the cycle continues. What else we got here? Duchess says, the Santa Fe sauce, you dip 2 full burgers on it, right? The sauce isn't the problem. I think the burgers are more the problem. Let's see. Rybug says diabetes can cause strokes, Foodie Beauty. Yes, they can. And so can heart problems. I think she has some. Spazzy Sabs says, Chantal, we see you through a filter. So you stop using them. Okay, thanks. Yeah, take the filters off, Chantal. Take the filters off. And what we got here? Hoop says, you need to get serious. LG Pollock says, I never say anything about your health, but being a retired RN, I want you to get that A1C of 10 down, way down, please. Yeah, because it's dangerous. Dangerous. And again, here's the question that I had for all of the medical professionals that might be in my audience, you nurses, you RNs. Question again, if you're someone and you have extremely high blood sugar and you keep extremely high blood sugar, which Chantal does, is it possible that your body will adjust to it and it becomes like the new normal? Like, I know it's not healthy. It's never going to be healthy and okay. But if, let's just say your blood sugar stays up in the 300s and the 400s, is it possible for the body to kind of adjust to it to a certain degree? I'm just really interested in what you RNs have to say. All right, people are giving suggestions about what to do, and they're giving her support. This person, EM, says, why doesn't she just do Ozempic? She does that. She did that before. Chantal could have all the Ozempic in the world, but Ozempic is for diabetes. It is not to treat food addiction. We're going to go right back to the drawing board. If you treat a problem, you got to treat the problems that cause the problem, don't you? You got to look at those too. Yes, she has high blood sugar. Yes, she's got diabetes. Would Ozempic help with that? Yes, it would. But as long as the food addiction is raging, untreated, it's going to blow everything else up. The Ozempic cannot fix food addiction. You know what fixes that? Therapy. Talking to somebody, working out the issues, finding out, being self-aware of what is it? When did this problem start? Why did it start? You got to go all the way back to when it first started and try to figure out what kicked it off. Is there some kind of trauma? Is there some kind of problem? Is it just a lifestyle of unhealthy eating? You've got to examine all of it in order to create a sense of self-awareness about it. You got to sit down and have an honest discussion with yourself about the whys and the whats surrounding the addiction, and create a sense of accountability, responsibility, and self-awareness. You become aware of your triggers. What are my triggers? Do I have unhealthy habits involving around food? Do I eat food when I sit down to watch TV, or I'm scrolling on my phone to look at YouTube or go on Twitter? Do I have unhealthy habits where I eat at night? You have to have that awareness. You have to be aware of what triggers you and what rituals you have involving food. That is what therapy is all about. Pulling that messy snowball apart and looking at it piece by piece to just really look at it and deal with it the right way, the healthy way. Ozempic is not going to do none of that for her. Again, more suggestions here. And she's probably loving this. She's probably loving the outpour of support. So, like, we'll see, Chantal. We will see. We'll see what happens. I'm going to be real. I don't give this much hope. If she wants me or anybody else to be a believer, she's got to work at it. She's got to earn it. We've been here too many times before, y'all. We've heard the same rhetoric too many times before, heard the same promises too many times before. You want to make me a believer? Give me something to believe in. Because I don't think you're serious, Chantal. As long as you are in Kuwait and you got access to food and you're not an inpatient and you got an enabler by your side that he's looking for a paycheck and you got to provide the money somehow, I'm not going to believe you. I'm not. So with that, y'all, I'm going to go. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'm got to redo a tarot react that I did. So y'all take care and have a good one. Bye.